pick up where I left off. Building a coven. As I sit under a gas station awning, across from the Goodwill Donation Center and store I slept behind last night and stole some clothes and shoes from this morning to avoid the steady calm rain falling on the world beyond the awning, I am reminded of Willow's wickedness yesterday. Lisa at one point called her a miserable bitch, to which she called her an ugly bitch, to which I said, don't listen to her. She's the only bitch in this formula. To which she replied, yeah, and you still love me, ha 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 ha, in pure tones of sarcasm and sass. What a bitch. I want to keep writing, but the rain is too dangerous. The potential for destruction of my soul's work looms like a rusted guillotine blade. So I close the book and stash it away. I'll likely walk to the library, which is 43 minutes walking from here. The sun is rising through a perpetual gray blanket over the blue. I intended to leave, but in seeing an outlet right next to where I am sitting, I plugged my phone in and will let it charge. The employee came and opened the door, acknowledged me, if sidereal, and went back inside, which I interpret as approval or acceptance. Life feels very bleak right now. I'm assured everything's good. I wanted clean clothes and I got them. I wanted a plug and I sat down next to one. So I suppose I'll let my phone charge and set out into the rain towards Hamlet and my coven of witches. Willow played Neil Baby's old man yesterday, and now unconsciously I sing it, and I lament how much of me she controls. I gave a bitch my whole heart for nothing. The work crowd filed into the station to get their Red Bulls, coffee, Slim Jim, whatever other necessities blue-collar hicks require. Smokes, of which I could use one, to get through their simple-minded lives with their sanity intact. If 9 o'clock comes and the weather has not improved, I'll walk to the library. I stole some internet from the ether and watch a clip of Elon discussing abortion, about how having kids is the greatest thing you can do. And as it was finished, I became upset. Willow immediately apologized, saying, I'm sorry, Ethan, I feel like such a whore. As I degenerated into tears, I was asked by a nice black lady bus driver with a bull ring in her nose if I had a light. So I wiped the snot and tears from my face and told her yes, and asked if she had a cigarette. To which she gave me 4, and we had a nice moment of cajoling to the world, then versus now. I made a joke about smoking cigarettes with my bus driver, which is true. I knew her personally for many years before she started driving the bus. Her name is Sherry. Now she works at the Toyota plant in Huntsville. Her son, Tyler, I would allege to be my first friend. We no longer speak. As the driver left, Annabella commented on how I'm going to be blessed all along the way because everyone sees my heart and how good I am. And that how they only had to relax and talk to me and we could have figured it out. And she tells me, we still can. But it hurts so much to consider. Now, despite having the most interesting life in the world, I wish she had thrown me away like her father had. He tells me, no one wants that. It's all towards something. Hamlet, the journalist, you just gotta chill. Get to New York with nothing. I have to know I am alive for a reason. Though now, huddled against a gas station to avoid getting rained on, my millionaire fathers on both coasts have never felt more distant. The weather is supposed to be bad all day today, with the next few days being nice. I suppose it behooves me to walk to the library, to use today to rest my weary body. Having no typical method blanket to warm my entire body while sleeping, each night I adopt this absurd posture wherein I crunch my legs into my jacket by bending my knees all the way in, and have taken to stretching them back out, rotating to the other side, and adopting the position once more, so my body at least seems to stay warm. It is breaking my body, night by night, a little more each sunset, and I worry I'll push myself to the brink of death, or outright to demise, all for the sake of my father's dreams to see me save literature. I'm not, Willow decries, a whore pregnant guppy. And I say, I'm not all the hateful things you've espoused about me. And she says, I know. And I want to reassure her because I want everyone to be happy. But she has gone out of her way to be miserable, to be hateful, to be cruel, to be childish with forces she obviously has never understood. For me to write Red Niche, Dash Bushki, and David Solinsky and tell all of them that I was in love with Willow, that we were in love, and for all of them to write her father, the most reclusive author in literature, Niche, to do all of it, the poem, the sonnets, and still refuse to see me, to actively engage in the most wicked witchcraft solely to break me, my spirit, my psyche, suggests she really is more akin to a child. And though I always felt she was childish, I now see nothing worth teaching, nothing worth being involved to see improve, nothing worth loving with absolute devotion. Though admittedly I find it equally difficult to say it really was for nothing, that she introduced herself and concerned herself with me so zealously all this time in this special subtle way for nothing. And look beyond Willow. How can I have a future without her? She yells as I write, "There is no future for me without you." We're all so moved, Annabella tells me, while you're writing. And as I begin to cry, she adds, "How could we let you write all this and simply throw you away?" I have a thought, as Eliester says, don't say it. You've taught us all so much, and you're going to play the role, set the camera on fire. I'm excited to see it. We all are. We just have to put some time between you and this thing Willow has done, which she regrets, we all know, immensely. Now, she sees how meaningless and cruel it was. Sitting, now standing, outside of the gas station, I am reminded of another gas station I was at some years ago, where a young woman overfilled her gas tank, and it spilled out all over the concrete, and she was crying so profusely because she didn't have the money to pay for it. I recall wanting so badly to help her, but I couldn't, because I had no money either. Then, as now. I want to say it too was in Tennessee, but perhaps I am mistaken as to locale. The weather has subsided. It still rains, but I suppose there is no time like the present. I sat outside of the Kroger across the street from the library after purchasing a load of garlic bread and some cinnamon rolls, watching Oliver Sacks for roughly 1 hour before travailing to the library across the street, where I now have taken a seat with a desk and have assumed the writer's posture once more. While inside the grocery store, I had a nice exchange with an older woman. Southern accent so thick you can paint with it. Black, mixed, I would guess, but very sweet, offering advice on how to stay dry, including keeping dry socks. To which she proceeded to regale to me that she would always change her socks 8 hours into her 12-hour shift as a nurse. Though she admitted, being older, she no longer works such strenuous hours. And I think of my mother, and I wonder if I am doing enough. All the while, watching Oliver regale to an enthralled Seattle audience tales of neurology, I have, in truth, already heard him discuss. I am bombarded from both coasts with psychic magic. Willow professing, "I see how wonderful you are. There's no bullshit in you." Annabella beginning to weep laments. He's cold and afraid that he's lost his mind. Clay assures me, "Someone will see you, whole. You shine too bright." Elizabeth says, "Someone will help you. I'll be good to you. No one made me feel beautiful until you. You're so good to me, and we haven't even met. How can it be?" Annabella chides Willow. That older woman helped him because she saw the kindness that you're supposed to see. And Willow tells me she wants me to write. She wants me to use this gift I have. They all say they intend to purge the evil from my psyche. Thoughts of necessary isolation, of hermitage, of loneliness, of feeling apart from everything yet still within it. I am weary and high on food. I want to close my eyes, but worry I will be plagued by psychic constraints. Visions of evil sent to incite my rage out of malice, boredom. I don't know. What else? But there's plenty of reasons, I have no doubt. I suppose I'll try to read the Canterbury Tales until I drift off in the library to hypnagogia. My journey has only just begun, and I must conserve my resources. I offer prayers, first to the world, and lastly for myself. All those I care for, then everyone else, and lastly me, for whatever might remain. Which, if omnipotent, is still all and will be forever so. I looked at a beautiful coffee table book of Leonardo. was struck by the Annunciation, as well as the adoration of the Magi, the same painting mentioned in the Sacrifice. Thereafter, I transitioned to the Canterbury Tales, and as I sought the New York Public Library book out of my overstuffed, falling apart, disheveled black backpack, Willow pleads, I understand how tired you are. Please close your eyes. I promise I won't infect your dreams. I'm crying as I write it. I know we both are. Perhaps not. Perhaps all of us are. Distance is illusory. Mind is omnipresent. I am that I am. I thought of my former, I should say, while cowering from the rain this morning in front of the gas station. Pete, his name is. I heard them all talking about me. Pete wondering how I'm doing. I know it must be real, as I always loathed that job and have nothing in common with any of them. But they think of me. They discuss me. And my wizard ears stretches round about the earth in 40 minutes. Well, I must continue worrying until it is no longer merely a psychic phantom. As I try to continue the squire's tale, I recall my curse, the tape I mean, and am distracted. Alistair tells me, I'm watching it. You know I'm watching. All of it has become an archive, its own archive. Annabella says, you've come to mean so much to us, and I feel the same way. But the cost in full still is unknown to me, and I worry my ambition and spiritual family's expectations are higher than my mortal body can endure. I am assured and feel that it is all work towards something. Hamlet, the journalist, on elusive coven of witches. I'm the only one, they say, and I know they must be right. Though now, with no shelter from the rain once the library closes, which to be clear is 8 hours and 40 minutes from now, makes me all the more unsure. Please, I'm told, don't be upset. You're loved. That it, the archive, the collection, has become Alistair's most cherished possessions. That everyone I have written cherished their letters because they show that all hope for the future is not lost, though my future in the immediate has never seemed more tenuous and dangerous. I hear Alistair discussing how I'm the guy with the producers. He tells them they don't know how much I've done to show my remorse, and that we'll do it middle of next year, and I hear that they trust him. Willow tells me that she wants me to play the role. She wants me to be happy and that she's sorry over everything. See, everyone loves you, Lisa says. She tells me that I just have to come here and that no one will run from me anymore. That we'll be good. Sounds nice. Fucking shit, fuck. I awoke around 2:15. After these hours of unsuccessfully lumbering from one bad position to the next, by the librarian gently touching me on the arm, which I would say was unnecessary. Crabby. As I finished watching Oliver Sacks, Willow thanked me for trusting her enough to sleep. Though I did have a dream about an actor, a play, a movie, I cannot say. But it was a performance centered around a drug which bifurcated the personality. It is some Freudian shit, some metaphor about the warring aspects of my uncertainty. Really? Willow asks. God, it's so much. Alistair tells me all is well. I can recall looking at the Annunciation and remarking how it is magnificent, with Annabella commenting to Willow, it's so dumb you would rather spend your time and offer the treasures of your body to jackasses who stare at their phones all day. Anyone who can get addicted to TikTok has no desire to see what's good in them flourish. I hear promises, protestations of remorse, desire for improvement and change. As I have nothing, as I see nothing, therefore I believe nothing. She says, I'll show you. You'll see. Says that she fucked up too bad, and I agree. But that she wants me to love her enough to be compelled to write once more. About her, she means. I say in reply, I have already shown a lifetime's worth of devotion. And in reply, I have received nothing but heartache and agony. I don't see the strength to right this ship even in myself, much less so in an antagonistic child with the body of Aphrodite. She gets something out of this, I know. That every time I sting her on the page, she sees some hideous part of her immortalized. It's not right, you're wrong, she says. I am ashamed of myself. I stood up and perused the stacks. Not much there. While walking to the bathroom, I heard, dream. to do is dream. And Alistair tells me, don't worry, I know you're sick of her shit. All she has to do is be the woman she told you she was. Namely, to be in love with, be loving to me. And beyond that, she could just let me go to work and say, thanks, no thanks. And I would be cool. Alistair says, do you understand why? To which I reply, I see you are a loving father. And he thanks me. Took my second dose, a healthy one, and now I am obsessing over how I haven't had a shower in weeks. I know it doesn't matter. My shoot with Vanity Fair is next year, so they say. But it sucks wearing clean clothes over a dirty body. Guess I'll go smoke because I can. Back inside now. As I drift beyond the hypnagogic trance induced before and lingering after sleep, I recall I had another dream, in a library. A woman was very upset. I told her not to be, that I could be upset for both of us, and she broke down, as did I. My sub and unconscious are attempting to purge me of my coven. They occupy the greater part of me, and I'll refuse to speak a single word, even the one I know from beyond my literary intrigue with show business elites. I wonder if they found her. No, I'm assured that they are all witches, and having their professions in common, are prone to similar psychologies. Often while writing, I will be thrust violently out of the trance, and look up with each half of the pen held by each hand. And I will turn the pen in my left hand with my right, in contemplation of what has just been written, as well as the world at large. Adopting the posture now, Alistair says, yes, the journalist, this is how he sits in the courtroom. And I agree. The library is a single story with ugly brown and blue carpet squares designed with perpendicular lines throughout. Stacks dot either side of the centered information desk and computer array. From the main entrance looking towards the information desk, the non-fiction, as well as my personage, are on the right, including the works of Shakespeare, with fiction on the left. Their classics section is an abysmal 2 shelves, wholly miserable. Their shelves are largely empty. Maybe someone in Bartlett has a refined literary palate, or maybe they are all backwoods hicks, and the collection of books is a reflection of that. I remember my sister's conversations yesterday after we spoke. First, she spoke with her eldest daughter about me, about how I wouldn't look up girls, which is true, I don't. And she began then to trust me. And her husband later said, you never know, Ethan's a charismatic guy. They'll all see. I'm told, they'll all see. Fucking fuck me. It is pouring out of me. 100 pages in these 3 days, maybe 4. Alistair tells me, you're a badass. And I do see it, the scope, the legend. But being the only one suffering, I am frustrated and worried by it all. Though I am assured I need not worry. I ask Clay if they're going to do another festival, to which he says, yes, dude, we're already working on it. To which I say, don't do it in Delaware. To which he says, it will be in Watkins Glen if possible. As I sit and attempt to watch Milton Friedman discuss the war on drugs and see the rain return with a vengeance, my family offers sage advice to go sleep under the awning of Kroger across the street. And while it will not be comfortable or dignified, I will be dry. I agree. Alistair tells me, don't worry, I know what you're thinking. That we're all leaving you to die. Not to dry, to die. I know that's what you're thinking. It's not true. You heard me earlier. You just have to endure. Of which I hear similar sentiments each day. And they all know how fucking easy it is for them to say it. They know too how much I've already suffered. The rain is severe, and I do worry I'll die on this pilgrimage. Don't worry, Alistair says, you won't. We're all watching over you. And I'm crying again. I would guess we all are. It is frightening. The uncertainty of tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. I thought of Elizabeth, and a fine turn of phrase she said some days ago in L.A. And when I told her so, she said, really, you're thinking about me? To which her mother said, he loves you. And I know, it's weird. And Lisa cut her off, saying, no, it's great, I love it, and Willow's coming around too. To which I said, you see how good she is to you? Willow comes back. She called me a miserable bitch yesterday. And I reply, were you not acting like one? Crickets. She finally says, yes, I know I was being one. I have these 3 hours inside. I am afraid to live in the rain. I am not primitive enough to exist in such raw conditions. The city of dihedral angles never rains. There is a consistency there. But here, back east, we are prone more so to the chaotic whimsy of God. I must rest while I can. You really, Lisa asks me, think I'm not ugly? To which I emphatically reply, no, you're as beautiful as a woman can be, to me. I'm not sure how much my opinion is worth or means to anyone. She replies, it means everything. I'm so emotional right now because I have money and I could buy you a ticket. To which I say, there's nothing stopping you, unless there is. A pause before both fathers assure me, no one has ever conspired to keep anyone from me. To which she comments on how far away I am from the station, and I tell her not to worry about it.